Okay, y'all, today we're going to be talking about Rich Amiri. Surprise, surprise. He's been going up on Spotify and TikTok with his song One Call and the release of his third album, Ghetto Fabulous. Unless you're living under a rock or don't follow the underground scene, you've probably heard of Rich Amiri or seen some posts online about him. He's been in recent controversies over beefs with other artists, potentially fake or botted streams, and an overwhelming amount of backlash from fans at times. But what's the deal with Rich Amiri, and how did he get to the point of surpassing all the members of Opium and monthly listeners on Spotify? At the time of me making this video, Rich Amiri has 8.2 million monthly listeners, which might be more than Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and Homicide Gang all combined. If Rich Amiri can end up getting 11 million monthly listeners by the end of this little TikTok surplus of streams, and I'm not here to justify whether Rich Amiri is or is not botting streams, there's really nothing to prove it, but if he does get 11 million monthly listeners, then he would be surpassing Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and Homicide Gang combined. Amiri Dexter Chase, born on February 6, 2004, started making music when he was 15 and adopted the stage name Richard Amiri.
His name's not Richard!
But yeah, anyway, Rich Amiri, said to have never worn Amiri jeans before.
Walk with your fit, tell me how much everything costs.
It's a plain jacket, maybe 600, something like that. Hearts, sweatshirt, or 500. Marc Jacobs, double pants. These are my favorite piece. I love these. So I think I got it off railed for like maybe $100. We got the Marnianis on, you feel me? That's what really makes the fit. $400, $300 prices. Spent a whole lot for these.
Started rapping at the lunch table during school, which is where I feel like every underground dude says they started rapping, was back at the lunch table in 8th grade. It wasn't until he discovered his friend's studio, which was a pair of headphones and a laptop, where he made his first songs. With early inspirations like Speaker Knockers and NBA Youngboy, Rich Amiri made songs on NLE Choppa type beats, with the only song available on streaming services being Doo Wop from back in 2019. In an overwatered market like the underground rap scene or the supposed SoundCloud V2 era, it can be hard to stand out. Many tend to focus more on their appearance, style, and the way they present themselves on social media more than the actual music. With so much focus being put into marketing, at what point does the focus become about the music? Aside from having good music or a specific image on social media, there are many other factors that can contribute to gaining attention or going viral in the underground scene. Things like who you are associated with, how you interact with fans or other people on the platforms, and what types of promotions you're doing, if any at all, as well as there being an overwhelming market for people that are interested in bad music that they can make fun of. Rich Amiri was able to take advantage of all of these things and none at the same time. Not only was Rich Amiri still finding a sound and establishing himself as a musical artist in late 2021 when he started to catch an initial buzz with the song Walkin', he was only 17 years old. Joining a new wave of rappers that were deemed SoundCloud V2. Although there were different scenes in the SoundCloud V2 era, some were taken more seriously than others due to the extent of how true their raps were. Talking about violence and drug use, the younger crowd of rappers were potentially not taken serious by adults regardless of the good music. Rich Amiri was able to capitalize off of both audiences by getting features with Summers, his brother Desire, SSG Kobe, and Jades on his first album titled For the Better that released in 2022. All of these artists had their own respective fan bases, and with the album being considered more of a plug-and-be album, Rich Amiri started to carve a niche into the underground. Although Amiri was developing a sound that began to trend in the underground, his quality of music was not the only thing catching people's attention. Rich Amiri got into early controversies. He especially got involved with rapper, artist, and now YouTube/streamer Jace. Jace was a prominent figure in the underground in early 2022 and helped multiple underground artists get a bigger look early in their careers. Jace and Rich Amiri collaborated and made the song Jumpin'. The Jumpin' music video that featured both rappers was released in April of 2022 and is now taken down due to what fans can only assume is because of a constant beef that hasn't been settled between Jace and Rich Amiri. In May of 2022, 1 month after the video released, word spread like wildfire that Jace snitched on Summers in an alleged robbery, with paperwork surfacing that Jace talked to police as an informant. Jace would try to lie about the situation to some extent and say that Summers was never his true friend and that Summers threw him under the bus in the alleged robbing. Regardless of this beef between Summers and Jace in May, Rich Amiri dropped his debut album 1 month after that in June of 2022 with Summers and Desire as features. I remember seeing this and thinking, damn, Rich Amiri is the only dude that got a music video with Jace and then a feature with Summers in the same month. Like, it's not really the best look when they just had a crazy beef the month before. It was hard to give Rich Amiri credibility for being the realest rapper in the game. It was seen as fake and kind of corny to be hopping around friend groups in the underground for features or potential clout gains. Regardless of how loyal Rich Amiri claimed to be to his fellow rap peers, it was no doubt that he had the potential to surpass them. This was not the only controversy Rich Amiri was involved in, let alone the only controversy with these mentioned artists.
You sit in front of the computer all day. Oh my God, Jason! Rich Amiri, you up? I ain't gonna say it. You weird. You on that side. You go that way, not this way, if you catch my drift.
In late 2023, it was shed to light that Rich Amiri and fellow underground artists were involved in accusations that were proved false, the extent of which will not be covered in this video, but that information can definitely be found elsewhere if you're interested. A main figure pushing these narratives were Jace, trying to spread these alleged allegations about Rich Amiri and other artists like SGP West. I can't speak on the other artist situations, and I can't fully speak on Rich Amiri's situation, but if the allegations were proven false and there wasn't solid evidence in the first place, there should have been no reason why Jace was so quick to publicize this narrative about somebody else that really had nothing to do with his career. This definitely left Rich Amiri distraught for a short period of time, but with these allegations only coming out a few months ago, he has obviously overcome some of the challenges that he has been faced with as an underground artist. I remember showing some friends Rich Amiri's music when his first album dropped, and maybe 6 months to a year later, they came back and said, damn, Rich Amiri's music is so fire, I was sleeping on him when you first showed me. It's no doubt that he had the potential to catch a mainstream eye and get the mainstream appeal. If somebody who isn't tapped in with the underground can listen to your music and recognize that you are fire and want to listen to you more, you do have a lot of potential to pass up other rappers in your similar lane. This is where Rich Amiri was able to catch a buzz on TikTok with songs like Poppin' featuring Lil Tecca, which was the lead single for his second album titled Evolution. The rollout for his most recent album started about 5 months ago with the release of the music videos for the songs Ain't Nothing and Codeine Crazy. Both of these videos have over 2 million views combined, but when they initially released, they weren't getting that kind of traction. It wasn't until the release of the album Ghetto Fabulous where the songs and videos really started to pick up on views through TikTok and Instagram promotion. With a slightly new and evolved sound from the previous album and previous works, fans were liking the new style and the new music, and it translated into mainstream success in terms of views and numbers. But was all of it authentic? That's something that we won't necessarily be able to know for now, but from the looks of it, there definitely has to be some botting of streams going on. The YouTube music video views definitely are more realistic than the Spotify streaming numbers, but both could be forged in some way. Any label-signed artist is going to be getting additional boosts through promotions and extra pushes that a label will be able to provide that independent artists just do not have. In this moment, Rich Amiri has the machine working for him, and we won't necessarily know when that is going to slow down. And once it does slow down, are people going to be quick to say, oh, Rich Amiri fell off, oh, his streams were botted, this and that. I don't think most people had faith in Rich Amiri to get to the point that he's at today of seeing this mainstream success. Another friend that I was talking to made a great and final point that I'm gonna make for this video. Rich Amiri's come up could only be described as somebody who worked hard for what he wanted. A lot of people would have not seen Rich Amiri to be the one in this position or believed in him to have done it, but Rich Amiri worked hard. He might have at some point been just another fan in the comments. He was able to come up and make it because he did work hard. He didn't necessarily go viral off of his first song, and it wasn't automatically given to him that he was gonna be this amazing rapper. Somebody had faith in him. He definitely has the mainstream push given to him. We will have to see how long this machine keeps running for.